that looked like a nasty explosion. It has to have exactly the right mix of natural gas to oxygen.
2018년 5월 15일 미국 알리소 비에호에 위치한 뷰티샵에서 엄청난 폭발음이 들려왔습니다. 응급 구조대는 곧바로 현장으로 출동했고 3명의 피해자가 있었습니다. 2명은 뷰티샵의 고객이었고 심각한 화상을 입었지만 기적적으로 살아남았습니다. 나머지 1명은 뷰티샵 사장이었던 일디코였고 그녀는 살아남지 못했습니다. 뷰티샵 내부는 알아볼 수 없을 정도로 심하게 파괴되었습니다. 목격자의 진술에 따르면 사장 일디코가 소포를 들고 자신의 사무실로 들어가는 모습을 보았고 얼마 지나지 않아 큰 폭발이 일어났다고 합니다. 수사관들은 이 목격자의 증언 덕분에 가스 누출이나 사고가 아닌 고의적인 공격일 가능성이 크다고 판단했습니다. 수사가 진행되는 도중 스티븐 빌이라는 64세의 남성으로부터 전화가 걸려왔습니다. 그는 뷰티샵 운영을 도왔던 사람이라고 주장했고 일디코와 연락이 되지 않아 걱정돼서 전화를 걸었다고 말했습니다. 스티븐은 수사가 어디까지 진행되었는지 알고 싶다며 자진해서 경찰서를 찾아왔고 형사들은 그를 신문하기 시작합니다.
Valerie lives down here, and she called and she said, okay, well actually she sent me a text, and she said, you might want to check out the news because there was a big explosion apparently on 5 Maryborough and a crash, car crash and all kinds of stuff. So I went on the internet and I was reading the article. And, it had all of that in there, 5 Maryborough and all of that. And then they talked about being across the street from the daycare center. And our salon is across the street from the daycare center. And then about a half an hour later, I don't know, I'm guessing with that number, but, maybe a half an hour later, I was checking the news again, and they had adjusted to 11 Maryborough. And then there was a picture there. And, you could see the wall blown out or something on the picture. And there was a little, there's a stone pathway. I've been up and down that stone pathway a bazillion times because, Ildiko and I are we've both signed the lease together. Okay. And we're building that business. And quite successfully.
But how did you know she was back in the U.S.?
I have access to her schedule. I'm the business manager for her.
Did you guys share a calendar or something?
Yes, special program that she uses. People can say, all right, I need an hour and a half time block for this service.
Okay.
And then it would show them when they could book an hour and a half block, and they would book that. So
스티븐과 일디코는 틴더로 서로를 처음 알게 되었습니다. 일디코는 당시 남편이 있었음에도 많은 남자들과 바람을 피우고 있었습니다. 수사관들은 피해자의 연인이나 배우자 또는 내연 상대를 용의자로 의심합니다. 배신, 질투, 소유욕 같은 감정적인 갈등이 범행 동기로 연결되는 경우가 흔하기 때문이고 그 다음이 금전적 관계입니다. 수사관들은 일디코가 소포상자를 열고 난 후에 폭발이 발생했다는 사실을 숨기고 폭발의 원인에 대해 묻습니다.
Any equipment in there that I'm kind of ignorant to the type of equipment that are these places? Anything that has oxygen or something that may have caused an explosion?
We deal with cream, cleanser, wax. There's no nitrous, there's no oxygen.
Nothing like that.
스티븐은 질산염이라고 답했고 질산염은 주로 산화제를 공급하고 연료와 결합하여 폭발 반응을 극대화하는 데 사용됩니다.
They talk about it being a medical facility.
That's why I'm asking.
We didn't have that kind of stuff.
You guys ever have a gas problem there or anything like that?
Not that I know of. Natural gas, I can't imagine natural gas. And maybe it does, but I can't imagine it creating that kind of devastation. That looked like a nasty explosion.
It was large. A large explosion.
Yeah. I used to play with natural gas a little when I was in high school and college, our various science classes.
Okay.
It's fairly difficult to make it explode.
All right.
It has to have exactly the right mix of natural gas to oxygen.
수사관들은 신문전에 스티븐에 대한 조사를 진행했습니다. 그의 이웃들은 그가 폭발 장치를 제작할 수 있는 기술을 가지고 있었고 가장 큰 취미는 집에서 대형 모형 로켓을 제작하고 발사하는 것이라고 주장했습니다. 수사관은 조심스럽게 그의 집에 있는 화학 물질에 대해 묻습니다.
So let's say, for example, when they do their analysis of chemicals found there, chemicals found in your home, would it just be a coincidence if it's the same?
Well, yeah. Again, I don't remember what chemicals are around in the house because I haven't taken them down. I haven't looked at them. I haven't thought of them. I didn't even know where they were.
Right.
But, if there's an oxidizer, I mean, sure, there was some sort of an oxidizer that was in the bomb that was placed because you'd have to. Clearly, it's possible that I have that oxidizer. If it was potassium nitrate is a specific chemical. And, if it's in both places, that's not a surprise to me.
Okay. Coming back to something you just mentioned, you talked about the size of the package that she would have had to have opened in order to have done that kind of damage. Why would you assume it was a package that she opened?
Because it's in the news reports.
That she opened a package?
It said it was a package.
Is that the only way that a package could be utilized?
I don't know. I suppose you could have a timer in there or a cell phone or, that would trigger it. It's just package for me means you open it. I mean, that's my assumption. When I get a package in the mail, I open it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because you had just said that and I just didn't know. And again, my experience with explosives is very minimal. So,
일반인이 폭발물에 대한 구체적인 정보를 아는 것은 매우 드문 일입니다. 스티브는 산화제의 중요한 역할을 정확히 이해하고 있었고 질산칼륨이 사용될 수 있다고 말하며 아주 전문적인 지식을 보여주었습니다. 일반적인 신문에서 수사관들은 용의자의 수단, 동기 그리고 기회가 성립되었는가를 확인합니다. 이런 폭발 범죄를 실행할 능력을 가지고 있어서 수단이 성립되는 용의자는 스티븐이 유일했습니다. 모형 로켓 제작은 화학물질과 점화장치에 대한 전문적인 지식이 필요하기에 폭발물 제작과 상당히 유사한 원리를 포함하고 있습니다. 기술적 지식, 재료 접근성, 조립 및 설계 능력을 모두 갖추고 있던 스티븐은 수사관의 의도를 눈치채고 황급히 부인하기 시작합니다.
Your whole deal is, means, motive, and opportunity. And I don't know I don't know anybody that has the motive.
okay. What about the means?
I don't know what's in my garage. I don't know what chemicals they found. So I suppose I could probably fall into that category if the chemicals are right. I mean, I don't know. But if they're taking the chemicals out, I would appreciate that they look at them, for like how much dust is on them. Because, if it's 8 years worth of dust accumulation on there, it would show up.
Would someone with your type of experience be able to convert that into something on a bigger scale?
I saw the devastation, in the pictures and news reports. I have no idea how you would put something together that would cause something like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you would go about doing that. That looks like a C4 sort of explosion or something, I mean, like some sort of very high explosive. I don't know what they did. And it's not black powder. It would take, like a ton of black powder to cause something like that. It's probably hyperbole, but a huge amount. And, you'd be backing up a truck to do it.
You don't have any idea of what those chemicals are?
Well, I mean, I described to you some of the chemicals that I have had in the past. Strontium nitrate and potassium nitrate and some other things.
Okay.
Charcoal and I think there's some sulfur up there and some other things.
So as far as making some type of explosive device, did you make one?
No.
Ever?
Never.
Never made an explosive device?
No.
스티븐은 계속해서 폭발물 제작 능력을 부인했지만 그의 전문적인 지식은 그를 유령 용의자로 지목했습니다. 스티븐은 일디코와 함께 사업체를 운영했기에 범행을 실행할 시간적 그리고 공간적 기회도 가지고 있었습니다. 이제 마지막 요소인 그가 범죄를 저지를 이유나 목적을 찾아내려 합니다. 수사관들은 일디코와 함께 사업을 진행하면서 갈등이나 다툼이 있었는지를 묻기 시작합니다. 스티븐이 만약 일디코의 행동에 대한 배신감을 느꼈었다면 그 배신감이 범행을 계획할 동기가 될 수도 있기 때문이죠.
I confronted her with some changes in her behavior. Like what? What do you mean? Well, when we first started dating, she gave me access to, she gave me her sign-on credentials for her United account. This is just as an example, because there was numerous little things like this. And then she, at one point, just for seemingly no reason, she changed her password and wouldn't tell me what the new password was, which was okay.
Right.
But that, along with other little things, just sort of indicated to me that she had something going on.
Okay.
You know, I don't want you to have my access to my United account because if you do, you'll find out, you know, where I'm going.
Right.
And, you know, so I just talked to her about that, and she, you know, she admitted that she was going up to Sacramento to see another man.
No, she came clean about it.
Yeah. Ultimately.
Right.
I mean, and then I said, you know, and the issue was, for me, why are you trying to hide it?
Yeah.
You know, because the reality is, if she had come to me and said, you know, I really think that I want to, like, open up our relationship a little bit. I don't want to be exclusive. I want to, you know, date other men. I would have said, okay. You know, we ultimately had that discussion. Okay, that's fine. We'll do that. And, you know, at the same time that she changed the password on her United account, she also changed the password on her phone. When we were in Portugal, one morning about 4 o'clock in the morning, she was sitting on the phone texting, you know, back and forth with somebody.
Right.
And so that was when I actually confronted her about it.
Okay.
스티븐에 대한 신문이 이어져 갔지만 딱히 중요한 정보는 나오지 않았습니다. 스티븐은 현재 체포 상태가 아니었기에 그는 집으로 돌아갈 수 있었습니다. 수사관들은 스티븐의 자택을 수색하기 위한 영장을 발부받았고 창고를 포함한 그의 집을 철저히 수색하기 시작했습니다. 스티븐의 집에서는 약 60kg에 달하는 화학물질, 2개의 즉석 폭발 장치, 전선과 여러 화학물품들이 발견되었습니다. 스티븐은 마지막으로 로켓을 제작한 것은 몇 년 전이라고 주장하며 그저 방치되어 있던 재료들이라고 해명했습니다. 경찰은 일디코 폭발 사건 혐의로 그를 기소할 수는 없었지만 폭발장치 불법 소지죄 혐의로 그를 체포했고 구금했습니다. 하지만 증거 불충분으로 스티븐은 일주일 후에 풀려났습니다. 약 10개월 후 버비앙 연구소에서 뷰티샵에서 발견된 폭탄물 재해에 대한 결과를 전달받았고 이는 스티븐의 차고에서 발견된 화학물질들과 정확히 일치했습니다. 스티븐이 사건 일주일 전 폭탄이 담겨져 있던 우편물과 똑같은 크기의 상자를 구매하는 CCTV 영상도 확보했습니다. 2019년 3월 4일 스티븐은 건물 파괴 및 1급 살인 혐의로 체포되었습니다. 압도적인 증거들이 스티븐을 지목하고 있었음에도 그는 끝까지 무죄를 주장했습니다. 검찰은 스티븐이 가지고 있었던 동일한 폭발 재료들로 사건을 재현한 영상을 법원에 제출했습니다. 재현된 환경에는 마네킹이 있었고 폭발 이후의 모습은 일디코에 흩어진 시신 잔해와 매우 유사했습니다. 배심원단은 90분의 심의 끝에 스티븐의 1급 살인 혐의에 대한 유죄 판결을 내렸습니다.
Stephen Beale murdered his ex-girlfriend in one of the most depraved and despicable ways possible. He blew her up in the business she owned, a salon, using a bomb disguised as a mail package. In the process, he also severely injured 2 other people, customers in the salon who were there preparing for a wedding. They will have to live with the trauma from this event for the rest of their lives. This murderous act was not only callous, not only cowardly, but incredibly reckless.
당시 64세였던 스티븐은 가석방 없는 종신형을 선고받았고 현재 로스앤젤레스 메트로폴리탄 감옥에서 복역 중입니다.